Hi, my name is Chi Puss. Today in the studio, we have Elliot from CoinAmericana. Welcome, Elliot. The topic of discussion today is Hobo Nickle. Let's start with first question. First of all, what is Hobo Nickle?
Thank you, Chi Puss, for inviting me to your interview. A hobo nickel refers to a coin, most commonly the United States buffalo nickel, which was minted from 1913 to 1938. That has been artistically modified, often through hand engraving or carving, to alter the original design. The term evokes the creative work of transient laborers, often hobos, during the early to mid-20th century, who reimagined liberty or Native American profiles into whimsical or poignant characters. While this form of folk art predates the term Hobo Nickle, which wasn't actually used by numismatists until the 1960s and 1970s, the actual practice dates back at least to the 1910s. The buffalo nickel soft metal, small denomination, and bold imagery made it an ideal canvas. Morgan dollars, which were worth much more, and peace dollars would probably not be carved like this because silver was much harder and they were worth more. So therefore the buffalo nickel had a perfect balance of a low denomination and a soft metal, which made it perfect for this type of art. These artists typically worked with crude tools that they could find in everyday locations, such as nails, penknives, or chisels, and carved them in campsites, rail cars, or even jails, producing miniature portraits of life on the margins.
Thank you. This is so interesting. Some numismatists trace hobo nickels to earlier traditions, like love tokens and potty dollars. Could you elaborate on this connection?
Absolutely. We must discuss how the hobo nickel came from earlier types of engraved and altered coins, such as love tokens and potty dollars. There's a rich lineage of engraved coin art in American history. Love tokens, typically engraved with initials or romantic messages, and potty dollars, which were trade dollars that had the seat under the liberty carved to resemble a potty, which humorously altered coin figures, set a precedent for carving as a form of personal or political expression. These practices were particularly popular in the 19th century. Hobo nickels carry forward that lineage, but with a distinct socio-economic and cultural context. Whereas love tokens often mark sentimental relationships and potty coins lean towards satire, hobo nickels were more rooted in survival and expression from society's fringe, since they were mostly produced around the Great Depression era. They served practical purposes too, used for bartering, food, lodging, or safe passage on the railroads, particularly during the Depression era.
It's all I know. You can keep your calm and easy, but that peaceful life ain't for me. The harshest gales call out from the tree, like it can sense the wreck.
Wow, I did not think that you can make an art out of a coin. There appears to be a modern revival and reinterpretation of hobo nickels. How does the contemporary movement compare to the original tradition?
Of course, most hobo nickels were produced during the Great Depression era, but modern coin artists have also picked up on the hobo nickel and are altering coins using similar techniques and methods, but employing modern technologies. Modern hobo nickels have indeed become a full-fledged niche in numismatics. Since the 1980s, following the influential writings of Delma del Ramines, especially his book Hobo Nickles, Prisoner Nickels, Shop Tokens, Modern Engravings. We've seen a flourishing of new artists applying sophisticated techniques to various denominations. Today's artists often use precision rotary tools, microscopes, and magnifiers. Some even employ gold inlay, titanium accents, and multi-metal layering. The themes have also expanded dramatically from tribute to samurai, sci-fi, cyborgs, pop culture icons, or gothic sculptures to reinterpretations of classical Americana. So since the Great Depression era, not only did the themes change, but the modern technology allowed coin artists to more effectively engrave and alter the coins to match the new themes. Importantly, modern hobo nickels are not limited to buffalo nickels. Artists now work on mercury dimes, Morgenthauers, Liberty quarters, Walking Liberty halves, and even non-US issues like Australian 50-cent pieces or British pennies. The artistry is now often signed, documented, and sold through websites, social media, and collector societies, such as the original Hobo Nickle Society founded in 1992.
Thank you. I have to look into Original Hobo Nickle Society. I am sure they have a lot of information about hobo nickels on their website. Let's dig deeper into this topic. Can you tell us more about the cultural and historical resonance of these coins? Why do they matter beyond their artistry?
Of course, you should definitely check out the Hobo Nickle Society for more information on these historic timepieces. That's an essential question. Hobo nickels are cultural time capsules. They reflect economic desperation, migratory labor patterns, folk storytelling, and outsider artistry. These coins are more than novelties. They're testimonies to resilience, adaptation, and the hidden creativity of marginalized people. The hobo lifestyle, rooted in the hardship of the Great Depression, World War I and II displacements, and railroad culture, is a fading chapter in American history. These coins are artifacts of this world, imbued with the personal narratives of drifters, artists, and sometimes incarcerated individuals. They're also deeply American in spirit, scrappy, subversive, and often irreverent. Modern carvings retain that legacy. They bridge past and present, honoring the improvisational ethos of original hobos while showcasing extraordinary contemporary craftsmanship.
Sound, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Oh. Sirens ring and run for shelter.
I did not even think that the coin can serve as a time capsule and can be an artifact from important American moments such as Great Depression. What are some standout pieces or artists, historical or modern, that serious collectors should know?
Of course, it's important to discuss many artists who contributed to this hobo nickel movement. Historically, the most famous early hobo nickel artist is Bert Wiegand, active from the 1910s to the 1940s. His signature carvings, including variations on the BELIT and BO, his protege George Washington Bo Hughes, are prized for their originality and consistency. Bo Hughes, who succeeded Bert, created hundreds of pieces until a hand injury in the 1950s limited his output. His story, intertwined with the lures of Depression-era America, is as compelling as his coins. Modern masters include Ron Landis, Alexei Soborov, Pauli Sorcio, and Gabriel Perdi-Carrori, whose carved 1917 Walking Liberty have a samurai motif. Many modern artists rework coins into fantasy, horror, or cyberpunk themes. Skull imagery is also dominant with pieces like the 1945 Lincoln skeleton cent, becoming iconic in the subculture. The Hobo Nickle Society has cataloged numerous significant artists and even issued designation like top carver to recognize technical and creative excellence. Collectors should also watch for work by M.J. Peterman, Stephen Albert, Chris Dempsey, and Mark Banks, many of whom use pseudonyms to retain the hobo spirit of anonymity.
Thank you for this information. I will make sure to look out for Hobo Nickles by famous artists, much as Bert Wiegand and others that you have mentioned. I am sure these pieces are pricey, but well worth the history that you get along with the coin. Let's wrap up with some guidance for collectors. How should one approach collecting Hobo Nickles, original or modern? What are the risks and rewards?
Hobo nickel collecting is not for everyone. However, one can piece together an impressive set of nickels which describes an era of America's history through carefully designed artwork under varying conditions. Collecting hobo nickels is rewarding both intellectually and aesthetically. However, it comes with a very steep learning curve. Here are some principles for serious collectors. The most important is to verify authenticity. Many original hobo nickels were unsigned. Provenance, stylistic consistency, and comparisons to known works, especially those in the Hobo Nickle Society archives, are essential for verification, since counterfeits have flooded the market. And the problem is, it is impossible, maybe not impossible, but very challenging to distinguish a cheap $5-10 fake from a piece by Bert Wiegand that's worth like $10,000-$20,000. So that's why it's very important to determine the authenticity of your nickel. Second is to understand the market. Original pieces by Hughes or Bert Wiegand command thousands of dollars. Modern pieces, depending on the artist and execution, range widely from $50 to several thousand. Pricing Buffalo nickels can be challenging, as if you send a Buffalo Hobo nickel to PCGS or NGC, they're just going to simply tell you it's damaged and they can't grade it. So therefore, the prices are not established by grades. Simply the artwork determines the value a lot, and the artist, of course. Focusing on artistry is also important for collecting Buffalo nickels, because whether they are original or modern, the quality of the carving, composition, and narrative matters. Intricate scrollwork, facial expression, and integration with the coin's original design distinguish museum-worthy pieces from amateur carved pieces. Engaging with the Hobo Nickle Society, attending ANA shows, and participating in online forums is important to gain knowledge about these nickels, looking at other pieces to get ideas for how you can piece together your collection, and to have information about the market and values. This camaraderie among Hobo Nickel collectors is strong, and shared knowledge is valuable in the field. At its heart, collecting Hobo Nickels is about valuing creativity under constraint. Whether crafted with a simple prison nail or a professional Dremel tool, each piece is a miniature act of reinvention. Ultimately, Hobo Nickels challenge our understanding of numismatics. They are folk art, protest, homage, satire, and survival, all struck on a 5-cent piece of metal.
Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Oh, little shelter.
Thank you, Elliot, and our friends from CoinAmericana for this informative interview. It was great to learn about the history and significance of Hobo Nickles. Let's do more interviews like this soon. I am sure our audience who is interested in coin collecting will enjoy it. Thank you to our audience for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to CoinAmericana channel and hit the like button for more amazing content. If you have any suggestions about future videos, please leave a comment down below.